Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Shadow and Sun Show. Today, we are going to be painting.
That's right, folks. We're going to be painting the Cloud Giant and the Storm Giant. Grab your miniature from Wizkids Miniatures. So far, the little guy and I have hit up the base coats. The Storm Giant is really looking pretty spectacular. I'm not thrilled with the Cloud Giant, but I'm going to do my best on it. But tonight we're just going to be focusing on, I think both of us are going to be using the exact same Army Painter blue wash and pretty much covering the entire miniatures with blue wash almost everywhere. There's a few places I think on his that he's going to skip.
Yeah.
But for me, not so much. I'm also, when I use this, and him too, probably, we're going to be watering it down a little because on the skin tone, the light...
Also, mine might need a few touch-ups.
Oh, yeah, it looks like you dropped it when you were playing with the Doge. But when we're doing the skin tones, if we use it straight out of the bottle, it really stains and changes the color of the skin.
That's bad.
Nothing we can't fix with super glue. But it really stains the skin and changes it. I was working on a different, I think it's a Cloud Giant, from Reaper Miniatures, and that's how I learned about it. I'm using almost, as you can tell, almost the exact same sort of light blue skin tone. But when I did it the first time with this, it totally darkened the skin and pretty much ruined it. So I had to throw this in a Ziploc baggie of awesome. And of course, the next day the paint just fell right off under running water. So I'm going to start and put some here on my Pringles lid palette, and then I'm going to water it down and then hand it over to him so he can do more or less the same thing.
What do you mean by it ruined it?
It was just so dark that I might as well have used like that color blue.
Well,
it just
first, so.
Yeah, just wait, hold off on the arms, unless you want to water it down.
No, not yet.
But I'm gonna really water this down quite a bit. Just I think 4 or 5 drops of water ought to be enough.
I'll do the
No, I need a little bit more.
this and see if this looks good. Because I often like just doing washes over stuff and using that.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I know the color, I just can't tell if I like it immediately.
Yeah, I think I did more or less the same technique on what was it, the Flesh Stalker for the Shadows of Brimstone video.
Yeah, that's what.
And it turned out pretty good. It was just a pale enough shadow in like the elbow joints and parts of the face, so that it just didn't overpower it with this other color blue. And I wouldn't even think of using the Vallejo wash. You know what? I'm not even going to do the face tonight because, as you can see, I did the gold jewelry and stuff like that, and I can tell that the soft tone wash that I did on the gold is still just not really dry enough. I was actually working on this just a little while ago, but you see the face. I painted it the jewelry gold. Thanks, Grim. And then I hit it with a soft tone, and I can still see that it's kind of dry, but not dry enough that I want to take a chance. So I'm going to try this wash out. Yeah, see, you can barely even see the wash this way. And that's what I want. I just wanted to go into those nooks and crannies around here and around the edges, and it's going to pool up, but I'm going to have to keep doing things like this, having gravity move it back where I want it. But you can barely just see that it gives that little line in there of wash that's really hard to do, with a paintbrush. It just doesn't. It just overpowers it, makes it just too strong. I see, like right there, you can really see when it pools down in there. Watch. See, like that. But then I'm going to have to, without overpowering the light blue skin that I'm trying to keep. And I may have to do this a couple of times after it dries till I get the right layer that I want. But I'd rather do it multiple times than have to redo it because it's too strong, or throw some white paint in there and touch it up, and I always hate having to do that.
I'm still having a bit of allergies. Still isn't the right word because they came back.
But they're
Not there anymore. They're there, but just not very there.
Yeah.
And yesterday was bad, but
see,
not as bad, and not as bad, and barely.
like your toes show back up just a little. I hate when you do feet and then you suddenly are left with a hoof because you can't see the toes anymore. So it just goes in there just enough. Pull it back up. And then keep running back down in there.
Okay, I should not have done that one yet. Should have waited.
On what?
Nothing. No, there. Oh, yeah, not there at all.
Bring it back up, let it come.
The water?
You got a cup right there?
Oh, I thought that was...
No, it's fresh.
No, I thought that was a mistake brush water.
Well, because it's fresh, you can use it for both.
Well, yeah, but I don't like using stained water.
Yeah.
For mistake brush purposes.
That's why I swapped them out and gave you fresh water.
Well, now I can't use it for mistake brush anymore.
Yeah, you can. If you take the water off the top of, like the upper portion of the cup, the any paint will drip down into the or sink to the bottom.
Oh, so do you think this looks good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just keep going. It's actually strong enough to get into the little...
Also going to do a bit of light tone later.
Okay.
Just water down. Also, how do I water it down? Do I just do this?
Yep.
Oh.
Ooh, that was a big old
Is
drip.
this enough? Is this too much?
We'll swirl it around and mix it in there and see.
Yeah, because the second the two touch, well, this happens.
Yeah.
So do I mix it up now?
Yeah. And if it's too watered down, you can just add another drop. If it's too strong, add another.
There's no way it's too strong. Okay, is this good?
Yeah.
Aside from
I really like the way you did the beard and the hair. Did you use gnome oil in that?
Yeah. Maybe, I think so.
Yeah. I saw it out. It reminds me, we need to...
Yeah, this is just water now.
Okay, then add another drop. Yeah, see, it's dripping off. I just saw that drop onto the board. It's doing the same on mine, but that's why I just keep doing this sort of thing and let gravity pull it back where I want it. As you can see, I'm dripping onto my napkin here because it is very watery, but for me, I'd rather be really patient and do multiple really watery layers than make a mistake like I did. See it drip down again.
Oh.
Use the different brush. And since it's already so watery, you can get it right back up. You had to drip into an area he didn't want.
I think I'm better off if I use a much less down paint.
Much less water, you mean?
Yes. Or I guess now
I'm not sure. I'm going to go with it. I'm going to throw some blue on this silver armor. I know it's going to run off, but I kind of like it. looks kind of cool like that, don't it, folks? Oh, saw another drip. Means I need to turn it upside down. This will be a lot different once summer hits up here where we live. These things will just dry much faster. But right now we're just hitting into spring. I know a lot of you guys are still getting snow and things like that, but all of our fruit trees and regular trees are blooming in the yards. And it's been doing that. Is it still too watery, or is it still going?
Still way too watery.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what.
It's still going into the.
I'll trade you. I'll take your watery stuff, and you can use a brand new palette. Yeah, that's fine. That'll work for me.
It's definitely not working for me. Because it's dripping down into the one place where it can't.
Yeah, the robe. Yeah, you might just have to repaint that later.
I hope not. It took a while. Took a long time.
Let's get some in there. Yeah.
Oh, not that long.
Yeah, I watched you.
Yeah, I know.
And I used one of the, I forget what color it is, but the Army Painter.
So only like this much water?
Yeah. Just
like that?
Yeah. This metallic, I really liked it. It's a sort of a teal metallic, and that's going to, I guess it's supposed to be a crystal formation on her shoulder.
Water was too much.
Still?
Yeah. Even that was too much.
Really?
Yeah.
Not really having that problem here, but you know what? With this miniature, it's just different shades of blue, really.
Oh. Yeah. So.
But you have all that fur and.
Yeah, I'm not that big of a fan of that one.
Yeah. But what are you gonna do? You know.
Yeah. This one.
There's actually not just that cloud giant, but that one's tiny. But there's another cloud giant, I think, from Reaper that is really, really spectacular, and this one is just.
I need to see it first.
Yeah, I really not a fan of this one, but you know, I think that when I'm done, my opinion will hopefully change because I'll have done, you know, a decent job on it. But you know, I would rather be painting like the Afridi or something like that from Wizkids right now. There's a lot of good miniatures in the last couple of waves of Wizkids that I'd rather be doing, but they're either sold out when I go to Miniature Market or they're you know, not real big miniatures that we paint on the channel. We usually do mostly giants and dragons and demons and big things like that. So it's easier for you guys to see. You know, as you can see over on the.
And we still paint smaller things.
Yeah, you can see my.
I mean, not that much anymore, but I used to paint some other things quite a bit.
If you look over here on my table of shame area, I've got, you know, this is just a small pile of what I'm trying to accomplish before summer hits.
Yeah, but all that's him.
Yeah.
Except for maybe some of the Tower of the Brimstone stuff.
Yeah, and I've got more downstairs, and trust me, my pile of shame is not getting any smaller.
Yeah, most of my stuff's up there.
And we're gonna hold off on doing the crystal and clear pieces unless it drips in there tonight, just because we're not sure how we're gonna go about painting them, whether we're gonna use an ink or just this technique of really watered down Army Painter, but it'll possibly, you know, show up in next video when we're doing the dry brushing. We might just do some of that too then. Because I want to be very careful with this clear plastic. It's, you know, it's clear, and when I did the clear pieces for the Sky Coach, it almost was too strong by using ink.
Well, no, I like those.
But they're barely
clear.
They're barely what I would call clear. You know, up close you can see it, but you know, on camera it just looks like almost like a contrast paint.
You shine a light through it then.
Yeah. Here comes a sneeze?
No.
Okay.
Breathing.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to sneeze. I'm just going to have a bless you saved up for you.
Oh. some blue on the beard, but
It's called highlighting.
it's not highlighting. It's not highlighting. It's adding dark gray to adding dark blue to.
Well, he's a storm giant, you know.
I suppose.
It's reflections, and clouds, and stuff. I don't know. I'm just making it up as I go along.
I know.
And I need to. Can you hand me the bottle? I need more. What do you think of the armor? Is that looking good with the little blue in there?
Yeah.
I know it's gonna run when I tip it over, but yeah, big time. But that's what I want. I don't want it to be too overpowering, but I do. You know, this is basically just a study in blue. Everything is going to be blue. I guess except for the little bit of silver and the little bit of gold on her. You know, look at that arm, that bicep right there. That looks great. That's exactly what. Yeah, that's exactly what we want. Is, you know, not too much.
Yeah, I mean, I think a bit of watering, but a bit of water, but barely.
Yeah, you know.
I always have bad experiences with watered down paint.
Army painter is notorious for being thick. I was using, I forget what, I used a color today and it came out like an oil paint. I was just like, oh my god, I gotta water this down a lot. And
yeah, I mean,
one drop of water.
Things I actually kind of like the really
thick.
Yeah.
You'd probably like oil painting.
Probably.
My mom used to be really good at oil painting. I mean, very, very good. And I never even tried. I went straight to miniature painting and found my thing, and I was more than happy with it. Are you done?
Yes.
Telling you kids these days.
Okay, you were the one that taught or trained me to be fast at painting.
I know.
I'm still at school. Because I used to paint during Zoom classes.
You want to talk about your thing at school that you're kind of famous for?
I have no idea.
With the shirts?
I have absolutely no idea what you're talking about.
Oh, okay. He did something really cool, and he's just shy and embarrassed or something. I think it's really.
If only we weren't painting.
I think it's pretty cool because it's your last year at that school, and you're leaving a mark. You know. So modest.
That's.
It's entirely true.
That's only like a 1% of it.
Yeah. He's a good kid, folks. Don't let his smart alecky attitude convince you otherwise. He's a good kid. Oh yeah, thank you. I just looked over there and I don't want to say anything, but I like to keep these boards.
No hope anymore. There's no hope.
I like to keep these boards, you know, clean until we
throw them away.
Well, no, we don't throw them away. We peel off the paper and use them for another project. But sometimes, because of the work we do, the paper just won't come off, and you almost have to buy the foam boards and peel them immediately, or the little elbow indentations and things like that will just. Wow, that armor actually looks kind of awesome.
Yeah, kind of reminds me of the thing that I did with the bug up there.
Yeah, I was thinking also.
Just not as good because.
Something else, but
I mean, that one I have no idea how I did that. I think it was just pure luck. I combined the right ingredients or something.
Yeah, we have our moments, folks.
Rarely, but.
It's looking a lot better. What do you think, folks? It's better than when I started? I think so. The hard part is going to be the dry brushing, picking the right colors to go back over here.
Yeah, I have no idea how I'm going to do that part.
Well, for you, you've got a lot of different textures to think about.
Yeah, I think this one's maybe not as difficult, but
It looks a lot more challenging than the dragons you've done.
it's definitely harder than the dragons. I mean, most of those dragons were easy. I mean, even the what was the
gold dragon, the Oregon?
no, Oregon was easy.
Oh, Tiamat. Or Marduk.
Marduk.
The
Marduk was challenging. But no, I'm talking about the red dragon.
Not Schmorgenrog, but...
No, Freyr's the blue. I mean, the only one that I can't remember the name of. The one I'm trying to think of.
Alright, folks. Time for me to let this dry while I hang it upside down and back and forth, and that's not going to be a lot of fun to watch. So let's see if the camera can get a nice close-up of what we've got going on so far.
I missed a spot on that.
Hold it still. So there you have it, folks. That's it for tonight. We'll be back Tuesday with a video. I'm not sure what that one's going to be yet. I have to look on my sheet. But then we'll be back, Wednesday for a game review. A book review, a craft on Thursday, the part 9 of the Arduin series, and then on to another painting video. But until then, folks, have a great week. We love you guys. We'll see you real soon, and
Good night.
bye, everybody.
Bye.